I'm sweating because it's still 28 degrees in China, even though it's the 2nd of October. Yay! So don't mind my sweat. Lads, ladettes, brethren, we're back again to discuss something that is a bit taboo, I suppose. A bit taboo. I've only been in China 3 weeks? 3 weeks, and I've already gotten a taste of the, hold on.
Here's post-edit page. I was in fact going to dab all the sweat off my face. Gross, but that's the reality.
Okay, I'm back. I've dabbed off most of the sweat. Let's hope. So I've been here 3 weeks, so these are very much my first impressions of the dating scene in China. I'm just gonna verbal diarrhea all over you. I apologize, you're in the splash zone. So I think that China can be a very lonely place if you aren't social. Other way of saying you probably should date when you get here, because yeah, especially it's my 5 day vacation at the moment. So yeah, without a bank account, a somewhat patchy VPN, and not an awful lot to do, you're going to want to be chatting to people, but also to get a feel of the Chinese people. Dating can be a really, really good way of scoping out the locals. But every coin has two sides, and this has more one side than the other, and dating of course is difficult everywhere, but I'm going to talk about some of the issues, some of the upsides, some of the downsides that I have experienced. So I think number one is, as a foreigner, you are going to be popular. You're going to be popular even if you don't fit the beauty standard here, like I don't. I'm fat, not thin, blue eyes, not brown eyes. You're going to be popular because you're different, and it's not even that the guys are even going to like you. They're just going to like you on the apps because you're different. It's a whole fetish thing. Are you different to Chinese women? How do you act? How is everything? So in my first week of being on Tantan, which is like the Chinese Tinder, I've had 6,000 likes, which is ridiculous, especially when you consider that the majority of them would never consider even meeting me because A, their English isn't good enough, B, they're embarrassed to meet a foreigner, or C, they're just liking you out of curiosity. So yeah, you might feel like, the Kim Kardashian of China, but keep in mind that the majority of those people would never actually consider anything with you apart from maybe a single night. Which brings me on to my next point. Because you are a foreigner and because you might not speak Chinese like me, I don't speak very good Chinese yet, they will never consider a relationship with you. That is the reality. A lot of people that I have encountered would never consider, being in a serious relationship with a foreigner because A, maybe their English isn't at the standard where you can communicate properly, B, your Chinese isn't at the level that you can communicate properly, and C, there is still a massive taboo of dating foreigners in China. I think maybe for women, dating male foreigners is seen as kind of cool, but for men, dating female foreigners is not, I've perceived it's not as cool. So yeah, just be prepared for that you're going to have a lot of people asking you a lot of questions and then just airing you. Bye, I've learned what I wanted from the foreigner, peace out. Which sucks, but it's to be expected, I suppose. So yeah, also that brings me on to point 3, expect questions. So many questions. Ooh. So many questions. Where are you from? What do you do? What is England like? What are foreign girls like? You are going to become the ambassador for every foreign girl that has ever come to China. You're going to get a lot of, I've heard foreign girls have a lot of sex. I heard foreign girls are very open. I heard foreign girls, I heard. And you are going to have to be the one to say either no, that's not correct, or yes, that is correct, or I don't know. Oftentimes I just say, I don't know, every girl's different, but sometimes they push and they really want an answer, so you either have to say, yes, I found that's true, or no, I found that's incorrect. Oftentimes it's incorrect, and the perception of foreign women is that they are very promiscuous, maybe because that's what's seen in foreign movies, Hollywood and all of that. Yay! So you're going to have a lot of men coming onto you expecting for you to jump into bed as soon as you meet them, and not there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, it's exactly the same as in the West. What isn't the same as the West, because there are very obvious differences, is that Chinese guys, they love a text. Oh my god, they love a text. They will text you 9 a.m, 11 a.m, 12, have you eaten? So it will start at 9 a.m, good morning. 11, how's your day going? 12, have you eaten lunch? 2, how are your classes going? 4, have you eaten dinner? 6, what are you doing this evening? It is constant. So if you are the kind of girl who doesn't like to be texting lots, Chinese man might not be for you. But if Chinese men are not for you, which obviously there are plenty of people who are not interested in Chinese men but come to China, I completely understand that. Not a problem. There are plenty, there are some foreigners here. If you're in Shanghai or Beijing, there's going to be a lot more foreigners. But here, there are some foreigners. But what I found is foreigners who come to teach in China, they're a very particular kind of person. So you have to be prepared that they are on a soul-finding journey. I think that's what I would call it. You don't come to teach in China, really, unless you're trying to experience something new, you're trying something new in your life, and I think that can be sometimes a confusing and complicated time for anyone. So dating a foreigner here can sometimes be just as difficult, if not more difficult, than dating a local. I personally haven't dated any foreigners yet. I haven't dated a lot of locals, but I'm just giving you my perceptions based on what I have experienced. And what I have experienced is a lot of attention, sometimes negative attention. That's another one. If you are even a little overweight, they're gonna call you fat. Not as a bad thing. They will just say that you're fat. Like, I've had people say, you're really fat, but you're really beautiful. You're really fat for a girl. I don't know what that one means. I told someone I had a nap after my lunch, and they said, yeah, fat people love to sleep. So be prepared if you are coming to China and you are a little overweight. They are going to comment on it. They are gonna call you fat. It's just a thing. Being fat is like being thin. It just isn't perceived as a necessarily bad thing here. They are just going to comment on it. So you've got to have thick skin. Definitely thick skin is something that is a must for dating in China, because people are going to say, your Chinese is so bad. You're not as clever as I am. How much do you earn? That's a massive one. Men will just outright ask you, how much do you earn per month? If you're not comfortable giving this information, I completely understand, but it does seem to be a Chinese norm that they will ask you, and they do expect you to reply with however much you do earn. So yeah, that can be a bit touchy. The first time that someone asks you, you think, what the that's not normal. But here in China, that's a pretty normal question. And the main difference I've found between China and Western dating is it moves a lot quicker. So if you do happen to find a boy who either his English is really good, or he is prepared to help you with your Chinese and wants to be in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, that kind of thing, it will move so quick. I've had this in a certain capacity, and I kind of put a stop to it because it moves so quick. You will see them 3 times and they will say, okay, I'm your boyfriend now. They will move a toothbrush into your place. They will be seeing you every day. They will expect you to be chatting multiple times a day. They will just expect things to move very quickly. And I think from a Western perspective, that can be absolutely terrifying, because you're 4 dates in, you realise you don't really like this guy, but he's already called himself your boyfriend. So that can be very scary, I think, and overwhelming, because someone will tell you they love you the second time they see you, and maybe that's mistranslation, or maybe they genuinely think they love you. It can be very intense. So yeah, I think Chinese boys can be very intense. they will also want to see you the minute they start speaking to you. You'll be messaging and they'll say, okay, I want to see you, I want to come find you, send me your location, I want to see you, da 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 da. And that's just because everything moves very quickly here. People expect to not be chatting for ages, and it just, yeah, everything's just different here, and I found that every aspect of life is different, so it's no wonder that dating is also completely different. So I think in the future, what I have learned from even like 3 weeks of dating is you have to be very firm that you don't want things to move very quickly. You have to be very firm if you do not want to be having casual sex. You have to be very firm with them because they expect Western girls to want that based on what they've seen in movies. You have to be very firm that you don't want them coming to your apartment straight away. You just have to be very firm in what you want, and that can sometimes be hard to communicate to them because they'll perceive it as rude if you say, I don't want you to come to my flat, I want to meet you in public. That can be seen as very rude, but you have to keep your standards where they are and how they're set, and you have to remain comfortable. China, as I said, can be a very lonely place if you, especially in your first month or so when you have no bank account, very limited grasp on the Chinese language, not an awful lot of friends. It can be quite a lonely place, so it can be easy to fall into something with someone, but I would recommend scoping it out, you know, talking to lots of different people, because China is like anywhere. There are people from all walks of life who are all completely different, and it can be an amazing way to get to know people. So that is my kind of perception of my first dip of the toe into the pool of dating. It can be scary. It can be very fast. People are going to ask you loads of questions. You're going to get loads of attention. Not all of it is good attention. In fact, very little of it is good attention, but you just have to go with the flow. At the end of the day, go with the flow, but keep your morals where they are and keep your level of comfortability where it is. Always remain comfortable. Never think that just because a societal standard is different from yours that you have to abide by it. You don't have to. If they say something that makes you uncomfortable, tell them, because chances are if they're dating you, they might potentially date another foreigner in the future if it doesn't work out with you. So you can be almost a teacher for them, but don't be an English teacher. Oh my God, this is a big one. Do not be a free English teacher for anyone. Do not be a free English teacher, because this will happen a lot. I've heard from other girls and even myself, people will ask, can you help with my English? And you think it's like, oh, you want to learn English to speak to me? That's brilliant. But no, they just want to learn English, so they will get free English lessons out of you. They will pretend that they like you just to get free English classes. So never fall for that one. If you are teaching them English, make sure that they are teaching you some Chinese so that it is an equal exchange. Don't be made a mug out of, because they will try every trick in the book. So I'm going to come back in about a month maybe and update on this video, because obviously it's so fresh and it's so new and everything is so different that I'm still trying to get a grasp of it. I've spoken really quickly in this video. I do apologise. As I said, verbal diarrhea. I just had to get it all out. So I hope this has given you some grasp, or at least some grasp on my experience with the Chinese men thus far, because yeah, it's definitely different, but it's exciting. Like with anything new, it's exciting and scary at the same time. So please like this video and subscribe for more videos about me living in China and other things and all sorts. And also check out my Instagram down below. I am trying to be more active on there, so you can chat with me there. And until next time, have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Bye!